Well, let's get over live to Rasul Sadar, who's in Tehran. Do we have any inkling, do we have any idea of when a response is to be given?
Well, that could happen anytime. However, there is no deadline announced by the Iranian officials here. So a former Iranian foreign minister and a current MP in the Iranian parliament, Menuchar Mutaqi, just a couple of days ago said that by Thursday, so the response is going to be given. However, that date has passed, and then there were expectations here on Friday that the response is going to be finalized, but that also didn't happen. So now, today, we're expecting that to be sent out to the Pakistani mediators and to be conveyed to Americans. However, when it has been asked to the spokesperson of the foreign ministry, Ismail Bakai, he says that Iran's response to the Americans is under review and will be given at the appropriate time. And he also said that the deadlines set by Americans means nothing to them. So we do our own work and we do not concern ourselves with deadlines or ultimatums. So that is the current situation here. And of course, one of the reasons that is taking that long for the Iranians first, so they are used to the negotiations for decades with the Americans and with the other European countries, with the regional countries. Every word, dot, comma matters for them, because this document is going to be extremely vital for Iran and Iran's future. And second, then the coordination and between the individuals and institutions here. So all the institutions and individuals related to this matter must be on board. So negotiating team led by the spokesperson of the parliament, Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, then IRGC is another stakeholder here, and the Supreme National Security Council, which is overseeing Iran's security affairs, has to be on board, and eventually it has to be sent to the approval of the Supreme Leader, Mujtaba Khamenei, and all of that is taking time. However, as I said, as of now, what we know is that Iranians are saying the proposal, the American proposal, is still under review.
Well, is it the same sticking points that we've had before? What are they?
Well, indeed, more or less, yes. So Iranians are saying that we need to go phase by phase. In the first phase, they want a clear end to the war at all fronts. When they say all fronts, they mean Hezbollah in Lebanon and also the Iraqi armed groups as well. And so particularly for Hezbollah, that is a sticking point, because just yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that the future of Hezbollah cannot be determined by Iran. However, Iran is insisting that not only the war with Iran, but also the war against these resistance groups, as it's called, must stop. And also is asking for guarantees, and the guarantees must come from the United Nations Security Council. Then Iran is asking for the lifting of the blockade, American blockade, and reopening the Strait of Hormuz. And while that is happening, Iranians are also insisting that the strategic environment in the region has changed, and one way or another, it's going to extend its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. So this is another sticking point, another tension point between the parties. Then Iranians are saying that in this first phase that they're suggesting to negotiate in 30 days, so if everything is agreed and if a deal is achieved on this first phase, then in the second phase, Iran is open to negotiate its nuclear program. And when it comes to the nuclear program, they are showing a certain flexibility. However, still they say they have red lines. First, they are not going to give up on the right of their peaceful enrichment of the uranium. They are not going to dismantle their nuclear facilities, and they are not going to ship out the already enriched uranium, which is above 400 kilograms. So while Americans are asking Iran to dismantle the nuclear facilities and to ship out the enriched uranium. So this is another tension point. So both Strait of Hormuz, the guarantees for the war, and then the enrichment and the future of the facilities here. These are the sticking point. And of course, Iranians are talking about the third phase. They say this is not related to the Americans. Once this war is permanently over, and once we agree on the other files with the United States, then they are going to initiate a strategic dialogue with the regional countries to improve their economic, defense, and political ties with the region.
Rasul, thank you. Rasul Sardar, live in Tehran for us.